Hey, it's me AJD from the LA Hobbyist. I wanted to make this follow-up video to my journey to get out of debt. I've been working really hard for the last 5 months, but I've hit a wall, and I don't know how to get over it. I'm hoping to get professional guidance, so I come here today to a person whom I respect and think that can help me with my situation.
I don't know what to expect. I hope he's a nice dude.
Another Domino's guy? Who are you?
Here to see the great curator.
What do you want?
I needed help. Who
are you?
messaged you. I'm AJ?
Who?
AJ from the LA Hobbyist. You know, the guy with the guy with the video.
Oh, that guy with that really sad video?
Yeah.
Oh.
Lost 25K.
Is that today?
Yeah.
Fine. Come on, I'll give you 5 minutes.
Alright, cool. Hey, it's me, AJD from the LA Hobbyist, and today I'm with the great curator, and he's gonna help me out of a pickle I've been on for like a year and a half. So you might remember my very first video on how I lost 25K. Well, you know, I'm seeking some help from the great curator himself.
Okay. So tell me what's going on here.
So initially in the hobby, I spent a lot of money just, clicking eBay, doing really bad eBay buys, and I racked up $25,000 in debt. Since July of my very first video on YouTube, I definitely got the deficit down to 16K, but it wasn't enough for me to warrant that I was successful in getting it down. I want to get my debt down to 0, and I need your help. And you seem like a very savvy guy in the hobby. You look like you're making millions of dollars, from the hobby. Just from my point of view. But I need your help, man. Like, do you have any advice,
Okay.
strategies?
Let me try to understand your situation here. So you got into the hobby in like mid-year.
Yeah. Well,
and you started buying
September.
things. Okay, yeah. Last September, and you started buying things on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What were you buying?
I'll break it down for you and how cringe it is. It's just really it's ridiculous. People will laugh. And, when I began collecting, I bought, it's like really hard to say, and it's really bad. I bought a lot of 2019 Panini Prism LeBron James at about $127 a piece. That cost me about roughly about $1,200-$1,300 for that lot of 10. And then I went on to buy 10 2019 Panini Prism base Luka Doncic at about another $120 a piece. So that's about collectively $2,400 about, give or take. It was really not the best decision. Actually, the worst and most horrible decision I made in this hobby was to buy those type of cards.
Chronicles, hobby boxes.
Okay, you were buying wax. And were you ripping them?
Yes.
Okay, did you get anything good?
No.
Cards dipped or crashed. They were only worth about $45 after that when I had to let them go, and I believe that in itself man, I'm sorry. It was a very big mistake.
I need your help, man. Like, do you have any advice,
Okay.
and strategies?
Let me try to understand your situation here. So you got into the hobby in like mid-year.
Yeah. Well,
And you started buying
September.
things. Okay, last September, and you started buying things on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What were you buying?
Like, Chronicles, hobby boxes.
Okay, you were buying wax.
Yeah.
Okay, and then were you ripping them?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get anything good?
No.
All right. What was your intention? You thought you were gonna buy it, rip it, grade it?
No.
And sell it?
I didn't even know about grading. I just bought those things just to rip. It just became a really bad habit at some point. Yeah.
Okay. Who told you to buy that stuff?
He was giving me these like really fucked up advice, like get 2019 illusions, because people aren't going after it.
Okay,
So,
hold on.
Yeah.
This dude had a collection that he was trying to get you to buy for $450,000.
Yeah.
Were you in a position to buy it?
No.
Okay, so why did he think that he could offer you a collection for $450,000?
Well, he knew my situation, so he was gonna charge me $25,000 a month.
Is this guy older than you, or is he a friend, or what?
Was a friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he like your same age, or like?
No, he's older than me. We used to work together in the nightlife industry. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and he's a collector.
Yeah.
And before this, you were not a collector.
Yeah. I was a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
With
but he had
you.
more knowledge than you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, and then you declined his offer, and then
Yeah.
after that, he started telling you what to buy.
No. That was before then, but he was giving me already fucked up advice on like what to buy. So he just told me to just hone in on the 2019 stuff. Just illusions, because no one's going after them. The prisms were really expensive, so I started buying a shitload of them, and then I went into single card buying, and it was just all bad from there. But the wax ripping was really bad.
Okay, and you didn't get anything good.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, and
All
some
right.
of them are like really bad, and I still graded them when I found out about grading.
Okay, so your entire amount of debt was solely from eBay.
eBay and grading fees, and I had another Pokemon partner that like he didn't like the grades, and he like dipped out on me, and I like
You invested with somebody
Yes.
in Pokemon cards.
hmm
Oh boy.
Yeah, and then he left me with all the grading fees, which amounted to like what, 4,000 or 5,000.
I've had some really unnecessary purchases in the hobby.
Why did you feel the need to have a partner?
Because the hobby for me, the hobby is meant to be shared, and if I reach a point of success by myself, it doesn't mean anything. I think I just want to share that success with someone else.
But you guys were splitting the cost equally.
He bought the cards. I paid. Well, we were gonna split the grade and then split the profits from there. Not equally, but he would have had more percentage, of course. But he left me with all of the cards because it didn't grade well, and now I have the last of his cards, but I'm gonna keep it because I spent like $5,000.
Okay, all right.
On the last
So that's how you got to that point where you're in debt.
Mhm.
All right. What have you been doing to get yourself out of it?
I've been doing a lot more shows. I've been through your videos learning how to make better, efficient deals by buying lower, not even lower, but buying a little more efficiently, and then flipping them. Not flipping them, selling them. Of course, not at a loss. So even if I make a $5 gain, like I'm still selling it at that rate from the 5 months out. So
Okay. And then, so you still have credit card debt. This is credit card debt
this
that
is
you have?
credit card debt now.
You
yeah.
paying interest every month?
Yes. Yeah.
What interest rate are you at?
25%.
All right. 25% debt.
Yeah.
Okay. How much margin are you making on your cards?
About like 10% each time. Yeah.
10% each time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or less.
Okay. And your goal is to get completely out of debt. And then after that, are you still going to be in the hobby, or do you, do you enjoy collecting cards?
I enjoy the camaraderie of the community.
Okay.
That's why I'm more heavy into the event side of the hobby.
Okay. When you first got in, did you get in because you like collecting, or did you want to make money?
I got in because I went through like a series of like bad breakups with like friendships and an ex-girlfriend and then another, ex-girlfriend. So
the hobby was a rebound for you.
Yes. A little bit.
Just broke up with my girlfriend at that time, and I also crossed the line after I broke up with my girlfriend. I had the intentions of trying to be with a friend that really didn't feel the same way about me, or she's still fucking capping about how she felt. And I got, in the process, I got gaslit and I got burned, and I was hurt. I was depressed. I had nothing to look forward to almost. And it's really hard for me to say, but I turned to the hobby.
There's a lot to dissect here, guys. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. All right. So I think that well, first of all, I appreciate that you're seeking out guidance. Whether it's from me or anybody else. This is good. Okay. A lot of times when people get themselves in trouble, they're maybe too prideful to seek out help. Yeah. Okay. But it's always good to get different perspectives. Mm-hmm. You make your own plan of action and you start taking steps towards that, but sometimes it helps to get a different perspective to come in and maybe help you out a little bit more, okay? Yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about is what got you to this point, okay? I'm sure you've probably analyzed it in your head sometimes, but let me just give you my opinion about this, okay? Because I think it's going to be a good lesson for your viewers in this video. Number one, it's very typical for new people to get into the hobby to seek out guidance from people that they deem to be more experienced, similar to your case with that dude. Okay, now you have to be careful though, okay, because this is what I talk about in my videos all the time about bad actors. This guy, he seemed like he was trying to pull a fast one on you. Okay, he was a coworker of yours,
almost a boss.
A boss. Okay, so he was a boss. He was a supervisor, somebody above you at your work. And he had the audacity to offer you his collection, which may or may not have been worth $450,000 at that time. Did you verify that?
I did, but when I asked for a list, he got very defensive.
Right. Okay. So the dude was trying to take advantage of you. Okay. Yes. Maybe he had a collection. Most likely, he probably collected over the years. The market boomed up, and he thought he was hot shit.
Well, the 2000. It's mostly 2019 product, so like Chronicles.
Okay. Well, I mean, at that time, this was 2019 or 2020? 2020?
2020.
Okay. Yeah. At that time, it may have been worth a lot of money. Who knows? Okay. But most likely, he was trying to take advantage of you.
Because it was going down. Right. And did you want to know what the deal consisted of? No.
Let's not get into that. Okay. All right. I already feel bad enough for this guy. Okay, I don't want to hear anything else. Okay, but if he was your supervisor, he probably knew what your salary range was. Yeah. So it's just ridiculous for somebody in a position of power to try to take advantage of somebody else. Okay, that's what I call a bad actor.
Of course.
All right. Yeah. To try to put you on some ridiculous payment plan for that,
$25,000 a month.
A month. Do you make $25,000 a month?
No.
Okay, so how would that even work, right? That just sounds ridiculous to me. I don't even know what that guy was thinking, okay?
Yeah.
And then from there to give you advice to go buy boxes online. He said go buy boxes on eBay and then rip them?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I've talked about this before in my videos where, ripping wax is not profitable, okay? Yeah. It's entertainment, it's a gamble, but it's not profitable. All right, and you learn that the hard way. Okay,
yes, very.
So he gave you that advice. All right. So number one is you got to watch out for bad actors in the hobby. Okay, people that think they know more than you or want to try to take advantage of your lack of knowledge. You got to watch out for that.
Yeah.
All right, because they exist in this hobby, and they probably have some type of gain from that. I don't know. Who knows? Were you buying it from him on his eBay store or something, or?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Who knows what his motivations were? Okay, but
he runs events in the Bay Area, so
right.
Yeah.
You always got to be mindful of what the person's interests are when they're giving you advice, especially if there's financial benefit from it. Okay.
Of course, yeah.
You got to be skeptical to a degree. Okay. So that's the first problem you had. Second problem is you got into the hobby. Ripping wax to try to make money, you said?
No, just to rip. That's the problem.
Okay. So let's just say that you were trying to make money off of this.
Yeah.
But instead, you found yourself getting into almost like an addiction.
Yes.
Situation, right? Mm-hmm. And I talked about this before in my other videos where ripping wax can be addictive because if you get a really good card, you're chasing the high. It's like playing the slot machine.
The hobby became an addiction for a variety of different reasons. One being, I have a highly addictive personality. If I'm into something, then I'm in it, and it's almost volatile. It's almost very aggressive and very like high energy. Like I want it, And at the time where I started in this hobby, I was having a very hard time, and I really don't know if I should say this, but I wanted to die. I wanted to kill myself. Yeah, I know it's stupid because this all derived from some type of unrequited love, but I turned to the hobby because I wanted to die. I wanted to give up, and my only escape, my only solace, was to turn to sports cards. And it was bad. I bought so much from eBay to the point where it became an addiction. It became compulsive. It became an obsession. But instead of obsessing over, some girl that didn't like me back, it became the hobby. It became a very bad habit that I would just click over on eBay, buy some bullshit card, buy some bullshit packs, and go about my day again. And I've also had a close friend of mine at that time. We weren't very close. I used to work with him during a period of time where I was, nightclub promoting, and he was actually fleecing me. I was picking up his stupid cards, and I was getting ripped off, basically, by him. So a number of things were happening as I entered this hobby. So then, that's why I needed to lean onto something, and maybe fortunately, it was the hobby, but unfortunately, I did what I did, and I burned a lot of cash, and now I am paying the ultimate price for it, which is I'm in a hole. I owe a lot of money in different spots.
And then you're always chasing that high, but the odds are just not in your favor, unfortunately, okay? So you got yourself into trouble there. Mm-hmm. Then you got yourself into large amount of debt, $25,000, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, and at that time you were not in the position to pay it off right away, right?
No.
And you've been working to pay it off ever since, okay?
Yes.
So you have to acknowledge your maybe being a little bit naive, taking bad advice, chasing that high that got you in trouble, okay?
Yeah.
So just recognize that so you don't make those same mistakes, okay?
I do.
Then, now you're in this position where you're working the debt off, okay?
Yeah.
Are you only trying to pay off the debt through cards?
No. I'm doing a combination of using my 9 to 5 and through cards. So hosting events for me would actually be a big motive. It would be a big engine to obliterate the debt.
How many? Do you have one job?
One job.
Part-time, full-time?
Full-time.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other means of income?
No.
Okay.
This would be it.
Okay.
Secondary.
So let me just kind of like get this on the table here, okay? Mm-hmm. Your credit card debt is currently 16?
16, yeah.
16,000.
Mm-hmm.
Your interest rate on that is 25%.
Mm-hmm.
How much are you paying per month? Are you paying like steady payments or just whatever you have?
Steady payments of like 300 to 500.
Okay.
Spread over like 3 cards.
Okay.
Plus rent and like food.
Okay. Well, your expenses are a separate thing, okay? But we're talking about the credit card debt. Mm-hmm. So your credit card debt's currently 16,000. You make like monthly payments. Mm-hmm. Interest rate is 25%.
Yeah.
You say you've been selling your cards, mm-hmm. and you've been making a what margin? 10% on the card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see a flaw in this system when you're making 10% on these cards?
Yeah.
If you have $100 to invest, instead of putting it towards the credit card payment, you buy a card for $100. Mm-hmm. You make 10%. You make $110.
Yeah.
Okay. But the interest rate is 25%. Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you see where you're at right now?
Yeah.
You're in this never-ending cycle.
Yeah.
All right. Unless you start making large lump sum payments, mm-hmm. Like $5-6 grand a month, paid off within a few months, mm-hmm. that debt is going to eat you alive.
Yeah.
And this is a typical mistake that happens to a lot of people. Okay. A lot of young people. They get into a habit of just paying the minimum or whatever they could at that time.
Yeah.
Okay. And the debt, they don't think about the debt. Mm-hmm. They don't think about the percentage that they have to pay on top of what they're paying. They just say, "Oh, I'll pay $500 a month." Yeah. Eventually, it will be clear. Mm-hmm. But if you're paying $500 a month, all right, and they're charging you, $50 a month in interest or whatever it is, you're not paying it off.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you need to do mm-hmm. is find an aggressive way to pay down that debt, whether that's taking a second job or doing something else to pay off that debt that doesn't involve cards. All right? You might have to go become an Uber driver if you can make more money than that.
Yeah.
Right? If you're only making 10% off of flipping cards, mm-hmm. but you could be making, let's just say, 20-30% doing something else with your time, you might have to prioritize that.
Okay.
Take a break from cards.
Yeah.
I know you love it, but you might have to take a break for a period of time. Go get a part-time job somewhere or find another source of income to pay off that debt.
Got it.
Okay? Otherwise, it's just going to keep accumulating, and it's going to take you longer to pay it off.
Okay.
Okay. I believe that you can probably pay it off at some point. $16,000 might seem like a lot of money, but mm-hmm. in the grand scheme of things, it's very manageable.
Yeah.
If it was like $60,000 or more, then you'd be in trouble. But you're not there yet, so that's good. Okay. So consider that. Okay. Number one is if you can't make enough flipping cards, find a different source of income that can accelerate the debt service. Okay. Debt service meaning paying down debt. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. How do you feel about your strategy right now? Like, is it a grind on you?
It's a big grind. Like, I have to go to card shows. I'm not doing well on my eBay sales. Like, the market's very tight right now. No one wants to buy, even though, everyone wants to trade.
So 2 things I want to highlight here, okay? Let me go back to you mentioned another thing that got you in debt was you had a partner.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you mentioned the reason that you wanted to have a partner at that time is because you wanted to build something together because mm-hmm. you're all about camaraderie in the community, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This typically happens too when people get into any type of business or investing, mm-hmm. is that they look for partners. Mm-hmm. They look for partners for the wrong reason, though, right? Yeah. They look for partners to share mm-hmm. financial risk.
Yeah.
You and me will go in on this half, right?
Yeah.
You think it's great, okay? But really you're thinking, okay, you pay half, I pay half, just in case we lose everything. I'm not losing everything. Yeah. I'm only losing half of the investment, right?
Of course, yeah.
They're trying to spread out or mitigate the risk mm-hmm. by bringing people. Mm-hmm. You don't really need to do that, okay? If you are confident in what you do, whether it's cards or whatever other type of business, All right, if you do the work, the research, and you can execute, and you believe in yourself, there's no reason you can't do it yourself.
Yeah.
The only reason that you would want to have a partner in anything, okay, is if the partner brings some type of skill set that you don't have.
Okay.
Okay. In this situation, he had the cards, but you could have bought the cards yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but like if he had a knowledge about grading, if he was very good at selling cards or something like that, then it makes sense to partner up with people when they can bring value besides money.
Yeah.
Okay? You can always go out and find money. You can raise the money yourself, you can borrow it. Okay? But skill sets, you can't really get that.
Yeah.
You know? So think about that for any future projects that you do, okay? Don't just think that you want to spread out the risk because you're scared, okay? All right? You shouldn't be scared of anything.
Okay.
When it comes to taking making business decisions like this or investing, okay? You got to be confident and have the conviction to do it yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so the next thing that I want to highlight here is that you talked about you did it for the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Right? You know, the hobby, when you're collecting, right, and you're buying and selling, you don't necessarily need to bring people into what you're doing.
Yeah.
The camaraderie part happens from the community aspect of it.
Of course.
Meeting people, and if you want to build something or help somebody, then you can give them, you know, advice just like what I'm doing to you.
Of course.
Right now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not charging you for this. You came, you know, to my office. We're having this conversation. This is the camaraderie part.
Yeah.
This is what I think that you like.
Yes.
Okay, so you need to be focusing on cultivating those type of relationships.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. Not trying to build relationships with people who will try to benefit from you somehow.
Yeah.
Okay? Whether it's your old boss who's trying to sell stuff to you, whether it's your old partner who is, you know, trying to like go half on these, you know, investments with you.
Yeah.
The camaraderie comes from the community aspect, and I think that you're doing very well.
Yeah.
I see you at a lot of shows. I see you very social. You're getting to know people.
Yeah.
So that you're doing very well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's talk about the daily grind that you're going through. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are experiencing the same type of fatigue. Collecting fatigue is what I call it.
Got it.
All right. This year was like red hot. All the way up until like end of February, going into March, and then a steep decline since then. All right, and a lot of people have felt pain from that. Right. The problem is, obviously, right. Okay, but the issue here is that a lot of people were not experienced in what a market does. Markets go up and down. Up and down throughout history. Any type of investment or whatever you want to call it, whether it's real estate, stocks, crypto, collectibles, whatever, right? Everything goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up, and it goes down, then it goes up, and it goes down. Okay, and here's a lesson that you're experiencing right now, right? When everything goes up, everybody jumps in.
Yeah.
It's a gold rush, right? Everybody's like has FOMO. They get in, they want to make money, and some people do, right? And you ride that wave until it goes down, and it can go down for whatever reason, right? All right. When it goes down, that's when people panic.
Yeah.
Okay, I've made videos about this where I talk about people who are panic selling, things like that.
Yeah.
And that continues to drive the market down. And if you don't have the discipline to ride the wave, right? You get out, you take a loss, whatever it is, but you're out of the market.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people are right now. A lot of people who are complaining about cards being a bad investment, about how the market is crashing, or whatever you want to call it, those people do not have the discipline to stay and ride that wave down. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? But at some point, the market will go back up again, right? And then those people will jump back in.
Okay.
You don't want to be those people that jump in and out. Okay?
No.
You want to be consistent. Anything that you do in life, okay, if you are going to be successful at it, it requires discipline and consistency. Discipline to ride the bad times out, consistency to continue to build on whatever you're doing, right? So with cards, for example, you know, you have to be consistent in building your collection.
Yeah.
All right, over the years. Just keep building, get good quality cards. And then you have to have the discipline not to panic sell when the market goes down.
That is, I think, what I'm doing. Just panic selling, like just trying to get a quick buck.
It's never bad to take profit.
Yeah.
short yourself.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can grind, you can make 10% on each card, but it's going to be a hustle.
Yeah.
And unless you can do it in mass scale, where you're making 10% on, $10,000 a month or whatever it is that you're spending, okay, you're not going to make enough headway to take that down that debt. Okay.
Okay.
So just think about that. Don't panic sell. Be consistent with your activity.
Okay.
Be disciplined. If you buy a card and you think that you can make 20-30% on that, then hold out for that.
Okay.
Don't just take the first guy who's trying to undercut you.
Okay.
This hobby is full of a lot of people that are trying to make money off of other people.
Yes.
And they will have no problems undercutting you if it means that they can make money.
Of course.
You don't need to do business with those people.
Okay.
Right? Find people that can give you fair deals, who will appreciate the cards that you're buying and that will pay up for it, and then you will make a higher margin.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
What kind of cards are you buying right now?
Popular rookies.
New guys or old guys, legends, what?
New guys. But, in order for me to, I guess, stay in the hobby, I've been playing a little defense by sticking my money into, Hall of Famers.
Okay.
Like Kobe and LeBron.
That's good. Okay. Pick the good cards. You don't. I mean, a lot of people learn this lesson the hard way, where they're buying cards. They didn't pay attention to pop counts.
Yeah.
They're buying base cards.
Yeah.
They were speculating on rookies that were unproven. Don't fall in that game.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You need to be buying the good quality cards that hold value and are not as volatile with their pricing, and then that's the best way to kind of protect yourself when the market goes down.
Yes.
All right. So I think you said you're buying Kobe's and Jordans and things like that, right? LeBron's. Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah.
Keep up with that. Try to stay away from the speculative plays.
Yeah.
You can do that when you have room to play and lose. Right now, you don't really have that.
Yeah.
Okay? So just stick to the blue chip cards. Make your margin on that. And just keep doing that.
Got it.
All right? But most importantly, you have to get that debt down as quick as you can.
Yep.
All right, and if you might have to make sacrifices, dude. You might not be able to eat out once a week.
Nope.
Or get coffee.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is that you do with your money.
Yeah.
You might have to make some sacrifices, but if you can delay your gratification from all these other things that make you happy, and you can be disciplined for maybe 1 month, 2 months, you can get that debt down dramatically.
Got it. Yeah.
You might want to look at other options where you can pay off the cards, whether you can transfer the balance to another card that has 6 months of no interest.
Yeah.
Something like that. You may want to look into options like that. I don't want to get too deep into conversations, but I want you to think about that way.
Yeah.
Also, I'll give you another tip, is that you can call the credit card companies and see if you can negotiate them to lower the debt. I mean, lower the interest rates.
Got it.
All right, so maybe they're charging you 25% right now. Maybe they'll lower it down to 20%.
Okay.
Worst thing that can happen is they say tough luck.
Yeah.
Okay, but every little bit helps. Okay, you just got to keep grinding and scratching away at that debt, that mountain debt. All right.
I mean, 9K in 5 months wasn't bad. I think so.
See if you can accelerate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
To 2 months now.
Yeah.
Okay, so just focus on getting down that debt as much as you can. Then after you get out of that debt, learn a valuable lesson.
Yes.
From that, don't repeat those same mistakes.
No.
Okay, I'm sure you probably feel much more experienced now than you did 5 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So every time you go to a show, every deal you make, you get better.
Yes.
It's like leveling up. It's like playing a video game and you level up your character, right?
Exactly.
That's where you are right now. Okay.
Well, the art of the deal helped me broker those deals that got me into cards a little lower than I would have done a year ago. So.
You're welcome for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So just keep grinding away at that, but just be mindful of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
It's not going to help you if you're making 10% on cards and you're paying 25% on your interest.
Got it.
Okay. The other thing I want to highlight is I want you to spread the message of the lessons that you've learned with other people that are coming into the hobby. All right. I tell this, part of my brand is that I try to create what we call the gentleman investor, the curator army. I've got this code that I try to follow, and I feel like part of our job as people who are in the hobby is to protect newcomers
Yeah.
who are coming into hobby. Like yourself 5 months ago, right? Protect them from the bad actors that are out there, such as your old boss who's trying to take advantage of you, your friend who bailed on you, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So please spread this message. I think the videos that you're making are really great.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, it helps spread the word. And you don't know, like, I don't know how many views you get, but like even if like one person who's new to the hobby watches your video by chance and they learn a lesson, then that makes it all worthwhile. Okay,
it does,
so you've got to pay it forward by protecting the new people to the hobby.
Yeah.
If new people come into the hobby like you and they experience really bad situations like you did, they can leave the hobby, and we won't grow as a community.
No.
So we have to protect all the new people, which is why I'm taking the time to talk to you today.
And I do appreciate, all the help and knowledge you've just dumped on me. My head hurts. Because, like, that's a lot to just take in, Like, yeah.
Do you have questions?
Yes, I do. So, like, going forward, what would be, like, the best strategies to, I guess, to acquire cards when I'm in the hobby, because the market is so tight. People like to overprice their cards 30%, and then they don't want to meet you in the middle. Like, what do you do?
Okay. If you encounter a person who's pricing their cards 30% higher, it's most likely because they bought it at a high cost basis.
Yeah.
Okay. Than whatever the last sale is. So I talk about this all the time when I'm talking about valuing cards, cost basis approach, all that stuff. Those cards you don't want.
Yeah.
You don't want cards that are going to be volatile.
Yeah.
You want to pick good quality cards that will hold their value. Maybe these are higher end cards. Maybe these are rare cards. Just cards that don't transact as much.
Yeah.
So go towards that. Okay. Find like good quality.
Do you think I should save up for a higher end card and just buy one of those that'll just hold its value?
Yes, eventually, but after you get out of debt.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So that's the thing. Don't buy these junk cards, these modern cards, these high pop count cards, none of that stuff, because all that stuff is volatile. It just goes up and down. That's why these people, they say, oh, well, that's my price. It's 30% higher than the last sale.
Yeah.
They probably bought it a month before when it was at 30% above the price. Okay.
So what strategies or approaches you would take if you had $16,000 worth of debt right now? Like, other than like getting, like, if you were to solely do it with cards, how would you do it?
So solely do it with cards?
Yeah.
I wouldn't solely do it with cards because I told you.
Cards.
You can't do it. You'd have to do it full time.
Yeah.
You have a full-time job already.
Yeah.
What you got to do is, I would, whatever cards that you can take profit on, take your profit on them right now, unless you think that they have a lot of room to grow.
Okay.
Take your profit, liquidate those cards.
Okay.
Pay off as much debt. Like, let's just say you had like, I don't know, $1,000 for cards, right? Put that towards paying off the debt.
Okay.
Then go bust your butt, go work overtime, go work more hours at work, go take on a second job, but you got to pay down the debt first.
Okay.
Then when you're debt free, you can come back into the hobby. Right, and you can implement the strategies that you learned at that time.
Okay.
Right, because right now you're if I tell you to go buy this card because you think you can make 50%, you're not going to have the time for it to appreciate.
Yeah.
Right, you don't have the luxury of buying a card and waiting 3 months, 4 months for it to appreciate.
Got it. Yeah.
If it appreciates 30% in 3 months, you're getting charged 25% per month on that.
Yeah.
You got to look at the numbers that way.
Okay.
So it's not going to work out.
Got it. Okay.
So that strategy is later. When you pay off all your debt, then you can get smarter about the cards that you're investing in, and then you can start looking for those cards. Right now is going to be super maximum 100% hustle.
Yeah.
All right, to pay off that debt as soon as you can.
Okay.
All right. And then to go back to your original question about how to deal with these people. If they have a high cost basis, there's nothing you can do about that.
Okay.
All right. You just got to move on to the next person.
Got it.
What was the other thing you said? You asked about that you were having problems with?
I forgot.
Okay. Next question.
Okay. Yeah. I wish I had more questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll tell you is that when you're dealing with these guys at card shows, just understand, like I told you, what cards to buy, the good cards. Understand the cost basis approach.
Okay.
Right? And then if a guy's really difficult to deal with, you don't, just try watching my videos about how to talk to people, just engaging them in conversations. Maybe they'll cut you a deal.
Okay.
If they don't, then it's okay. You can move on to the next person.
Got it.
All right?
Yeah.
But just don't be discouraged. about it. The hobby, one thing I want you to understand, and I want your viewers to understand, is that the hobby is not, they call it a hobby.
Yeah.
It was not designed for people to make money. It's designed for people to collect.
Yes.
Only recently did cards really come up in value that now we have the privilege and luxury to trade, buy, sell, and trade, and we can make profit on it, which makes it super interesting.
Yeah.
But that's not what the hobby was designed for.
Okay.
All right? So you just kind of have to understand that it's not, if you're in this to make money, there are easy ways to make money in life.
Yeah.
All right? If you're in this because you love the hobby, you love the community, all that stuff, then great. Just continue to go with it. But don't make it about the money.
I'm just trying. No, the only reason why it became about the money is because I'm down a lot of money, and it's just I'm in debt. So other than that, I love the hobby.
Right.
I love what it brings. Like I feel like the hobby has brought out the best in me, as a person. So
Then again, you got to make the tough choice to step away.
Okay.
If that's if you don't have the time, right? Step away.
Got it.
Focus your time and effort onto how you can maximize your earning potential.
Got it.
Whatever it is that you do. Are you a personal trainer?
On the side, I used to be, but
Okay.
I work for a hospital for the county.
Okay. Work up, continue to pick up extra shifts, maybe do some training on the side, maybe do whatever it is that you take, whatever you can maximize your skill set and your time to make money, you do that until you pay down the debt, then you come back to the hobby.
Okay.
Don't kill yourself by trying to hustle and grind, making small margins in the hobby.
It's tough. Yeah.
Right now it's a very tough time. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's gonna weigh on you. And you don't want the hobby to not be fun anymore.
Yeah.
What I mean? When the hobby's fun, then you'll find it's a lot easier to make money. Okay? But when you're trying to make money and it's not fun, it just takes everything out of it.
Yeah. No, you're right. So if you were in my position, would you just create content and not be in the hobby and just how am I supposed to be in the hobby without actually being in the hobby? Just not buying cards and everything. What would you do?
I think you can still make content.
Yeah.
I think you still have time to go to the shows and film and host these events, which you're doing right now with the LA Hobbyist.
Yeah.
You can definitely do that. Maybe just don't buy. Okay? Don't buy cards with the intention to flip them to pay down your debt.
Got it. Okay.
Liquidate what cards you have that
100% of all my cards
that are volatile. If you can take profit on them, liquidate them now.
Yeah.
Put that money towards the debt. Keep the cards that are really deep underwater, if you have any, or keep the cards that you think that can really appreciate. Like if you have a LeBron rookie, for example, okay? Maybe, whatever. Keep that.
Well, I have a Kobe Black Refractor, PSA 9 Black Refractor.
What's your profit on that right now?
Right now, no, I'm even. Or maybe I'm down $100 because the card went down.
Okay.
But I got it through a trade, so there was no cash involved.
You can keep it, you can liquidate whatever you want, but I think that you really should be putting your effort into working.
Yeah.
And earning money to pay down that debt. Your debt is very manageable right now.
Okay.
But it can quickly become unmanageable if you let the interest rates pile up.
Okay.
Okay? So be aware of that, okay? And and here's another thing I'll tell you, okay? And this is for your viewers too. How old are you?
I'm 33.
You're 33, so we're relatively the same age. I'm 39, okay?
Yeah.
But as you get older, maybe some of your viewers are younger. Maybe they're in their 20s, okay? As you get older, life just happens.
Lots of it.
Are you married?
No.
You have kids? No. Okay. Life happens, you get responsibility. Life doesn't get easier.
Yeah. Okay.
The world is a nasty place.
Yeah,
Right? We like to think it's rainbows and all that stuff. There's a great speech by Rocky when he talks about that.
Yeah.
We like to think it's all rainbows,
Yeah.
but it's not. The world is a nasty place, and life happens. You get a girlfriend, you get married, you have a kid, you buy a house, you have mortgage payments, you have all these responsibilities. It does not get easier.
Yeah.
So while you don't have any of that stuff right now, you need to be focusing on getting yourself out of this position before life gets harder. You don't know what will happen.
Yeah.
Especially after all the crazy stuff that happened last year. You don't know what will happen. Okay? So you can't just keep putting things off. You have to work through it. Push through it. Be positive. Be confident in yourself. Surround yourself with good people that will that will help you and encourage you, not people that will bring you down.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how you can get through life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably the best advice I can give you. Okay.
Got it.
You know, just keep in mind that life is tough, but you just got to push through it.
Yeah.
You can get yourself out of this debt.
And the reason why I went to you in the first place is because I know we're probably like in the same like age bracket, and you've reached the successes you have, you know, in different areas in your life, not just only the hobby. That's why I decided to go to you, because you're, you know, one of my muse. You know, like from your videos, from, you know, when I messaged you, like I'm like, this is the guy like I could see myself not being like, but like just at least emulating the successes you have in different parts of your life. And I truly admire that you're a family man. You have a kid or kids, you have a wife, you know, you're managing different areas of your life very gracefully. And one day I hope to get to that point where you're at, but it's gonna be your
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, I'm just like anybody else. I'm not special. So I feel like if I can do it, anybody that follows that same path and follows the same principles, they can do it too.
Okay.
And that's what I'm trying to share with you, these principles. The most important ones is being consistent and being disciplined.
Got it.
If you have those two characteristics and you apply it to anything that you do, whatever it is in life, okay, you will find success.
Okay.
All right? So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on a path, okay? A plan of action here that I want you to do. And then I want you to come back to me in a few months. I'm going to give you 3 months to get this done.
3 months.
This is your plan of action. Let's see if you can do it. We'll make a video about it. Who knows?
Oh man.
Okay.
All right.
Number one is, and you can apply this to anything in life, okay? Number one is you do your research. So take the ideas that I gave you today.
Yeah.
Think about how you want to apply it to your situation, what makes you most comfortable. Do your research to do that. So I told you mainly, I said, you've got to find a way to maximize your time and your effort to bring in as much income as you can to pay down that debt. So do the research to find out how that can be done.
Yeah.
Maybe that's cards, second job, more hours at work, whatever, okay?
Yeah.
Do your research, okay? Second part of that is take the steps, take the action. Take action on that. You can think about this all day, you can talk about it, but until you actually do it, nothing will happen. So you have to commit yourself to the process, take that plan of action. Take those steps towards action.
Alright.
Okay? Next, you must be consistent and disciplined with that action. Once you've taken that step, you've got to go all the way. All the way. You can't quit. And it will get hard. It might not work out the way that you thought it was going to be, okay? But you can do it. Okay? You got to push through the hard times.
Oh man. Alright.
Okay?
Alright.
Okay?
Is there a fourth step?
Fourth one is execute the plan. Okay? You spent the time to research, now you got to execute the plan.
Okay.
Okay? And then the last one is manage the results.
So how do I manage my results?
If it's going well, then you stick to the plan.
Okay.
If there's problems that come up, you have to problem solve.
Okay.
If the plan is shit, you gotta pivot and come up with a new plan.
Okay. Got it.
Okay?
Yeah.
3 months out of debt.
3 months from now, so that's January, February, March.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
3 months for you to get, basically you gotta get make like $5,000, a little over $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, to pay off that debt.
Okay.
All right? 3 months, I want to see the results.
Got it.
If you're still in debt in 3 months, I'm going to take your cheapest slab that you have and I'm going to slap you with it.
Oh my god.
It's on video.
Oh my god.
3 months to get it done.
Oh man, 3 months. Alright, March.
Okay?
Alright.
I don't want to see any more sad videos from you. Okay? I only want to see positivity. We don't need people making sad videos about the hobby. Okay? It's depressing.
It was real. I wanted it to be real.
I understand that, but man, it's depressing. Okay? So I want to see joyful videos, happy videos.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then hopefully, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Okay, you have my number. I'll help you out as much as I can. But once you get out of this, I want you to become an example for people so that they don't do the same thing. Okay, and I want you to be a watchdog for people. Make sure that they don't get taken advantage of by bad actors, giving them bad advice, things like that. Okay?
So I guess I am officially a curator disciple.
We call it member of the Curator Army. Okay? You're a grunt in the army.
A grunt.
He's a grunt.
I'm one of his hitmen now.
You haven't made it that status yet.
No, see?
You're the guy that sweeps the floor.
Oh, okay, so I'm going to sweep his floors
Yes.
after this.
Yes.
But I do appreciate you. You know, this guy's a great curator for a reason, so thank you, great curator. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man.
Okay, good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys. Bye!
Thank you guys for watching the video. A big and very special thank you to Daniel, the great curator, for helping me out with this video. He edited a good amount of it initially, filming it, allowing me into his office, allowing me to pick his brain a little bit on how he would manage the situation if it were his. I'm still down, about 16K, but it's better than 25. Hopefully I can get this down by the deadline he asked me for. So he asked for 3 months, so that's gonna be in March possibly. So like March 14 or 15. So I got some work to do. But this little recap is about me, whatever I learned from Daniel, and I hope I'm able to convey this correctly. But what resonated with me is I gotta stay disciplined throughout the bad times, because my discipline will carry me through that, and in the good times I gotta stay consistent. And the hobby's all about momentum, and when you have that momentum, it's really hard for outside forces to stop you. People, situations, it's really tough for those type of things to knock you down. But it's just yeah, man, it's gonna be a grind. I know that. My job won't allow me to carry a second job unless it doesn't overlap too much or it doesn't become a conflict of interest. So I'm gonna have to look into that. Other than that, I may take a huge step back buying cards next year, but I am slated to do about 36 meetups for the LA Card Club, so I'm very excited for that. Again, I may address that in another video on how the hobby events market in Southern California is very saturated. So that's going to be another challenge in itself. But life always presents its challenges, and you just have to meet them, rise above your adversities, and really just do the best you can. And when you always do the best you can, you always get your best efforts. And when you put your best effort forward, it just with a little luck, I'm hoping the best outcomes will be there. So again, thank you guys for everything. I really do appreciate all the love and support you have shown me throughout the 1 year that I've been doing this. Daniel, the great curator, thank you for enlisting me into your curator army, and I am gonna have fun doing it, and spreading positivity throughout the hobby is a goal of mine as well. So I'm very proud of repping the Curator Army. If you got some merch going on, let me know. But thank you so much, the great Curator, for just even taking your time for a small fry like me. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Click that subscribe button, ring that bell icon, help me out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.